There aren't many things in this world that make me mad, but lies and deception do.
Are you awake? Are you just sleepwalking?
My passion is driven by a desire and a yearning for finding the truth. And the truth destroys lies and deception.
Are you awake? Are you just sleepwalking? Have you ever been stuck in a dream that felt so real that until you woke up, grasping the side of your pillow, you realized it was all just an illusion?
What we really want to get through to people is the fact that we're not on a spinning ball, that the popular flat earth model with the sun and moon doing circles is impossible, and so we have to keep looking for another model.
What if your thoughts truly did create your reality? What if everything we were told was nothing but lies? How could we figure this out? What could we do? Join us live as we broadcast worldwide, Wednesday evenings, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Only on Beyond the Flat Earth.
We actually have physical, observable things that we can go to that clue us into the fact that this is a simulation. It breaks down at the pixel size.
Are you awake? Are you just sleepwalking? Well, my friends, I have a message for you today. You are dreaming. What if your thoughts truly did create your reality? What if everything we were told was nothing but lies?
What are we? We're the context of all it is, not the content. We're the decision maker as to what reality is. Because we take all the bits and pieces of information and we put the story together in our heads. So, can we use this to discern truth from lies? Can we look at COINTEL information and figure out what is the truth that they're saying?
Join us live as we broadcast worldwide, Wednesday evenings, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Only on Beyond the Flat Earth.
How is everyone doing? This is the Limitless Live, coming straight to you on the other side of the screen. I'm joined by the one, the only, the co-host with the most. He goes by a few titles, most commonly known as Jason Laufenberg of Awake Souls. Let's do this. Let's get it going. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, Ronnie. But there's a feedback loop. And And I need you to turn my camera. And I need you to turn my camera on.
You're not well. I'm
Here I am.
You're outside again.
I am. It's wonderful, beautiful night, and I love working out here better than indoors.
Yeah, it's for sure. It's nice.
Just getting used to the new setup, though.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good to see you back outdoors. We got the cicadas joining us for tonight's podcast. Shout out to cicadas. What up? What up? What up? Cicadas.
Did they come through pretty good?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Shout out to the cicadas. they're an interesting animal, or creature. I remember when we were investigating the solar eclipse. We were in Anna, staying at this nice hotel. It was wonderful time, and we went looking for the cicadas, people, because there was only like a few in the trees and we could clearly hear them singing away their song. So we decided to look for them, and I don't know if they camouflaged them themselves into the bark, but we did have one fly onto the deck the other day and make a sound, and we were, oh, there they are.
Yeah, that's the first time I've ever seen one, but I hear them all the time.
Yeah, so there are, I find them really peaceful. That's why I asked if anyone in the chat knew if they had cicadas in Israel, because I could see why John would have taken the baptizing job, because it's hot, right? So not only do you get to stand in the water all day, but also you get to hear the soothing cicadas. And if you're hungry, you can cook them up and eat them, right?
I guess, but they're hard to find. I just saw my first one the other day.
Not if you're John the Baptist, but it's funny. I was thinking about how Yahushua came down and walked in the flesh, how he said he was God. He basically announced it, multiple times. And he was the heavenly manna that rained down. So the fact that we can teach people that the Father came and walked with us and taught us and gave us our books is an amazing testament to the times that we're in now. And we hope not only to reprimand people, rebuke people, warn people, we also want to try to love one another. And each and one of you out there, even though I have had issues with many YouTube channels, Jaron, Bob from Globebusters, I could go on for probably 20 minutes. Honestly, I just care about the truth, and I got no hard feelings against anybody, QNF, any of those guys. If you're sharing the truth, I'm going to be there saying good job. If you're out lying, there's a good chance you're going to see me and Jason telling you, hey, that's a lie. And that's just what it is. And we don't do it out of love or hatred. We do it for the truth, right?
Yeah. I guess Dan Pratt, I haven't hit a like on a video in a long time, and I gave Dan Pratt a like today. And great video. I asked him if I could share it. I don't think I've heard back yet. So yeah,
that's because you're blocked. You're blocked on his channel. You should have used your backup. He's got me blocked too, because like I just said before, if you're lying or telling stuff that's not true, we're going to be there. And we're a force to be reckoned with. I don't care who anybody says they are or says who we are not. Jason and
I knew it was blocked, so I did. I used a different account. I used Jason Loftenberg.
Oh. Yeah, I got Ronnie Harris too, right? I got that account. I don't use that one too much, but when I really want to break home a point and I've been banned or blocked, I bring out Ronnie because, hey, man, you can do your research and check anything you want on me. It's all out there.
That's why I used Jason Loftenberg on that one.
Hey, you know what? Like I said, I got love for Dan. Even though what he didn't have to do it, whatever he did, he felt he needed to do. He was getting comments and likes, and I guess he felt like calling it out as if it wasn't valid or anything, but the message was valid. It was also brought up in another video, the very same thing. There's a mega viral YouTube channel that's been talking about the flat earth. I do believe they go into the dome and the ice wall, but all the flat earthers are sharing it and excited to see it. But That stuff's not true, right? We don't have any evidence of that.
Yeah, people, why don't you call in? I mean, we're covering some sticky topics within flat Earth,
Yeah,
and
I'd like to P Mars.
I'd be surprised if nobody wanted to talk about this. We're not going to bite you. It's a Google Voice number, and my phone is right here. You call the number. I'm going to hold it up to the microphone, and we're going to have the conversation together. And you can be nameless and faceless calling in. So if you want to debate Ronnie and I on something, we expect you to be on camera and live with us the way we do it. And but let's just have the conversation. Let's hear your perspective, even if it's contradictory to where Ronnie and I stand, and let's just talk about it. There's really no harm in doing that. So I'll put the number out again. 54 262 6427. I think I did type it wrong the first time I put it out.
Yeah, I called you, but it's okay. I forget it sometimes too. But yeah,
typo.
It was probably a typo for sure. What's going on Nathan's channel? I don't know if they're buying the live viewers because there's about 20 people in the chat regularly, which is great. Whatever. I don't really care what Nathan's doing. For me, the content that's going on, the way that he's yelling at people, and there's absolutely no etiquette left on his show. It seems like his ego just went right through the roof after the whole McWest thing, and it's too bad because I was actually thinking that might be a force of a show to reckon with, but
well, they're showing all the signs of being controlled agents, that it's an echo chamber, and that they maintain both sides of the argument. So the people that are in there are promoting the AE mapping model or the globe. So it's a false dichotomy. They're arguing about two things that are wrong, and completely neglecting the fact that they're both wrong, and that you have to be looking for the third option. And that's a stance that we've taken for a long time. We saw the importance of it because we know that the fact that it's a false model, the AE mapping model, there's a reason for it. So flat Earth was a controlled rollout. I think most of us can agree that it was a controlled rollout. It wasn't organic. And let's see, Matt Powerland really sort of does get credit for being the first modern flat earther. He's a self-admitted Jesuit. Then Eric DeBay, another real popular character, and all evidence shows that he's a Freemason. Samuel Robotham, there's strong accusations that Samuel Robotham was a Freemason.
I saw in a video today where it was another one of these viral videos where the guy was debunking flat Earth, and he said, "Sir Samuel Robotham," and then he said, "Wait," and he dropped the "sir." It was so odd, Jason. I'll maybe show you later if you want.
Oh, that's weird. They're taking the "sir" away from him now, huh?
Correct.
Well, it makes no difference because the organization that he formed was Zetetic, the Zetetic Society. And
That's
there's
correct.
like a book, Zetetic Truth. Is that true?
Well, he's got some mistakes, but
well, the Zetetic Society was a Freemason group, and they were Freemason debaters. So isn't it funny that we find ourselves in a situation where we're having debates now? This isn't a fist fight. Ronnie and I aren't angry with anybody in a way that we would ever want to hurt them or harm them. We're doing this, what we do, out of love. And the way to do that is a battle of the minds for the truth. So the way that's done, the rules for doing such are a debate. And people can agree to the terms of the debate. But what happens is, I get that feedback loop.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm ready to share that clip. Sorry.
Okay.
We'll do it after.
I love it when you do those screen shares and stuff like that. I just don't know what's happening with our audio right now. So we can agree to whatever terms, but without some sort of debate rules. We're going to have cheaters, and we're going to have people that use the shill tactics, which are, ad hominem attacks and all sorts of things like these that have no place in the argument over the truth. We just need to present facts and make cases. So that is what Ronnie and I are always looking for. I thought maybe Nathan could provide a platform like that, but he uses the shill ad hominem attack tactics without presenting evidence. I'm done.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know if I've changed anything, but let's try again. Just to further the point of the whole question between whether he's, let's check this out, see if this is the right.
And this, let's go all the way back to the Bedford level experiment with Samuel Burley Robotham. So let's go to the chalkboard in the Bedford level experiment. Sir Samuel Burley Robotham.
Does anyone see on the screen what it says?
Sir Samuel Burley.
So it's not just us, but anyways.
Don't know if that's how it's pronounced. It kicked off.
But the funny thing is, he goes on to make fun of the flat earth. He makes the ice wall. He fills it up with water and says, look, you idiots, that's how it works.
Earthy. This brings me.
But it's just always a big mockery. And this is what Dan Pratt was talking about, was when you search everybody, IPS and all the flat earthers were teaching everyone to research flat earth, right? So when you type in flat earth, are you still getting an echo, or did I fix it? Because I had noticed I had something on broadcast.
All right, let me. Yeah, it feeds. I hear it back. Maybe three-quarters of a second later. I can't talk.
Okay. But basically, if you search, I'll do it quick, Jay. If you search the flat Earth talks, you get all this crazy handicapped tomfoolery where they're just doing nothing but promoting absolute nonsense, like this fake map. Again, this fake map. These crazy guys, like, it's just nothing but a joke. It used to be good evidence videos. It was Eric Dubay and ODD that owned the search bar for well over a year. And then all of a sudden, bam, they're both gone like thieves in the night. Now all we have left is absolute mockery. This guy drinks his own urine, and everybody talks about unprovable science and absolutely easily debunkable flat Earth.
Man, I this really sucks, because I like it when you screen share and we can talk about it. That feedback loop makes it so that I can't keep speaking because I start hearing myself. Because that's sort of what Dan's video was talking about. The flat Earth search results, which is funny because I just, I don't always do a search to see what comes up in the flat Earth search results. But I had done it yesterday and talked to you about it. And then Dan did his video today about it. So it's anybody that's a truth researcher should understand astroturfing, and that when you Google something, Google has set what they want you to see as the first search results. That's called astroturfing, and it's done in everything from marketing to the placement of videos on YouTube. So type that in, their algorithm sets what the top results are going to be. And so they have flat earth in a situation now where it's been going on for a while. The top search results for a long time, most people would know that it would be channels like ODD, Eric Dubay. They would have the top spots, but that is absolutely not the case anymore. And it is just smacked with hit pieces on the flat earth. And I mean, which one of us out there have the ability to control that? Average people like us, we can't decide where Google's going to put the search results. So yeah, this is probably the way it's going to be from here on out. Don't expect that search result to change where all of a sudden they turn it to the truth. There was a setup in place where it was the globe versus the AE map and model, a false dialectic. And, you know, it's probably because of the work that you and I are doing, other deep, strong truth researchers that know Earth is flat and are trying to wake people up. We've probably hit our critical mass, and now it's the time to pull the plug on us. So we need to act as a community and stand up for the truth, whatever the truth is. And it's hard for a lot of people. It pains them to know that a couple of Christians were right about this, but we haven't had anybody that can show us where we're wrong yet. So we're just going to keep doing what we're doing, and hopefully people do the research themselves and either debunk us or agree with us and share the message. Are you there? Let's see. I think I lost Ronnie, but how is the chat doing, everyone? I'd like to hear from you. I'm going to put the number out there again: 254-262-64. What is it? 27. Go ahead and call in. Hello, Jed. You got a calling card? You want to call the United States? Do you, Jed, do you follow NathanOakley at all? Ever watched any of his debates? Has anybody ever watched any of NathanOakley's debates? It's supposed to be a platform where people are able to speak on both sides, flat earth and globe side. It's not supposed to be censored. I think ad hominems might be the only things that are supposed to get you kicked out. Yet, you know, in my situation, that's all he attacked me with. You know, Nathan didn't attack me on any truths that I'm talking about. They were all character assassination attacks. It was, you know, things about my intellect, or he tried to really turn it on to the buying the views thing. And it's not something that we've ever hidden. It's not a liability for us as a team, because if it was, we wouldn't be doing it. It's a win-win across the board. The only problem is you know, we're self-funded, so it costs money, and the money that we work to make gets put into that. Not much. Just so everybody knows, I would say all in all, in total, I've probably paid for view placement on under 200,000 for sure views. But it does turn out that they are actually real views, with watch time, with subscriptions, with comments, with people that we've talked to. So to me, it's worth it. You know, our other tactics, which still cost money, are I made a billboard for going out street evangelizing. And here, just a second, I'll show it to you guys. How's that look? You see that? I don't know if the image is going to be flipped or not. And then there's the other side. So, is it wrong to advertise the truth? Does anybody think it's wrong to advertise the truth? Could you see it, Jed? Took it to a public swimming hole here in Austin. It probably had 4,000 or 5,000 people, and everybody there saw it. And we have these flyers I had printed up. All right, so this side, the side of the flyer has the heliocentric model. It's got that. It's got the sun shooting through space and the planets whizzing around it. You know, 1,000 miles spinning at the equator. 66,000 miles an hour around the sun. Over 500,000 miles an hour around the solar system. And then I think it's like in the 6 millions that our solar system is shooting through the universe in a infinite expanding Big Bang. And so it's heliocentrism versus the Bible. And it's got scriptures on it. So we're Christians, and we're really disappointed that all the religions in this world, they don't teach the truth. And so that means there is no true religion on earth. They've all been corrupted, infiltrated by Jesuits, Masons, Rosicrucians, Knights Templar, all the secret societies, everybody that swears an oath. They're all in collusion. And, you know, Ronnie and I were talking today that there's probably a lot of people that are in Freemason societies that don't even know it. And one of those examples would be unions. So like here in the United States, there's labor unions. And if you look at the unions logos, oftentimes they're Freemason logos. There'll be some sort of crossed thing. There'll be, the mortar board and trowel. Like their logos, their emblems, very, very Freemasonic. There's like orders. Generally these are almost always guys, and I'm sure that the average person within the union has no idea that it's run by Freemasons, but you know that all the key positions in organizations like that are going to be brothers of the order or knighted or of some sworn secret society. And we have, as truthers, have come to realize that people that swear oaths are swearing that they're going to lie about something sometime. They got to talk, and if they're ever questioned on the truth, they have to lie. They're sworn to not tell the truth. And that puts people in a tremendous bind, right? Because the Bible says to swear no oaths, and it tells us to tell no lies. And Yahushua rebuked the people that made false accusations against him with, you are of your father, the devil. So right away, because of false accusations, it wasn't that these people were biting the heads off of chickens and raping and molesting children. They were making false accusations, and Yahushua told them, you are of your father, the devil. And people that intentionally lie are of the devil. And so then it comes down to the white lies, where we think we're doing no harm to people, but that too is corrupt. A person that's trying to live biblically is working to tell no lies. And I've trained myself that if I have the inclination to lie in any way, to catch it before it comes out of my mouth and just zip it. And this includes things like exaggerations, because an exaggeration is a lie as well. In certain situations, it includes omissions. Something that you obviously should have told somebody, that you purposefully, with some sort of self-serving intent, chose not to share it with somebody. So there's a lot of different aspects of lies, because then there's deception, there's manipulation, all of these things. If it comes from a self-servicing position where it's going to take advantage of somebody, or you're trying to stand over them in a situation that you don't deserve to, it's wrong. It's wrong, and it's condemned in the Bible. And we all do it to varying degrees. Well, I don't know. You can actually train yourself to not lie. It is possible. So just keep your mouth shut if you've got nothing truthful to say. Oh, I got to say. We are having big technical issues. It's made some noises like Ronnie's been trying to join, but it's been a little while. How is everybody in the chat doing? I'm going to see if I can adjust the light a little bit. It seems too bright. So the other side of this flyer. See how I can hold this. See if you can soak that in. The top of it says, 2 simple ways to know Earth is flat. On any scale, water at rest conforms to the shape of its container and remains perfectly flat. So we had the image of the wine glasses. So there's a container. It's got a sort of a globular shape to it. The water is flat. So that is embedded into an image. It has a lake in it. That lake is flat. A little bit larger scale, I've got that pond there. Might be a small lake to some people. And then a really big body of water. And that big body of water has a mirror image of the sky, and there's no distortion. It's a perfect reflection. And anybody that's been to a fun house and used a curved mirror knows that you don't get a perfect reflection off of a curved mirror. And then the bottom there says, the horizon always rises to the eye level of the observer, no matter how high you go. Both are only possible on a flat Earth. Team Yahushai. So I have horizon equals horizontal at eye level. And I've modeled this. We've looked at high altitude balloon footage. We've looked at high altitude, like reconnaissance flight footage. All the footage that seems like it might be legit footage from the highest altitude shows us the horizon at eye level. And we do have curved lenses that can create curvature, but then when the camera moves up and down, you see the horizon bend both up and down. So we know it's the lens in that case. When you have a linear perspective lens that shows things truly flat, we get a flat horizon up at eye level, and no matter how high we go. So that's something in my Flat Earth River proof. At the end of it, because I had done the modeling already, I just showed people how if you have a sphere, a globe, and no matter how large it is, it could be just bigger than the largest planet or star or whatever scientists have ever imagined. If you create that in any model and you put an observer on top of it, as you go up, your horizon will go down. And our ball's not that big. I mean, we've had a lot of disinformation agents labeled as scientists tell us, oh, Earth is so big, you're nothing but a speck. But then they tell us that the Earth's radius is 3,900, I think, 69 miles, less than 4,000 miles for a radius. Well, to most of us, I think you would agree that 4,000 miles really, it's not that far. It's a couple days drive. And then they tell us through their own mathematics that 8 inches per mile squared is required. That amount of curvature is required for us to be on a ball of that radius. So it becomes ridiculous. We would supersede curvature at 8 inches per mile squared, both on the ground and up high. I mean, globe earthers for the longest time have used like boats disappearing from the bottom up as they go out of our circle of sight as evidence of curvature, that they are now, let's say a sailboat, it's now 60, 90, 150 feet below the horizon is what they would like us to believe. And that's at a distance of about 3 miles. So they're expecting to see radical curvature. And it's not there. It's not there. Horizon always rises to your eye level and water is always flat. The river proof video is Nobody can debunk it. I've had a recent attempt, and I don't know. While we're hi Flat Earth Math. We're looking forward to you showing up too. I like math. I enjoy it. Not like just working with formulas and stuff, but more like math theory. And hopefully that's something that you're interested in too. Might have Ronnie back. Give it a second here. Otherwise, I'm going to bring up. Oh, there's so much to bring up. I've got a comment that I just addressed that I'd sort of like to talk about too. We got a screen share going. Does anybody want to call in? Okay. All right, me wants me to call them. It shows you're in here. It shows you're in here. It shows you're in the chat. I guess I'll go back to screen sharing. Oh.
You gotta open up invite.
You're in it.
No, you
Oh, you just left. I heard it. I just heard you go.
open invite. Yeah, it's not. Yep, like that. You know how to do it, right? Then you click on my name because this Zoom won't load. Keeps crashing. Invite. Yep. Yep. Hold on. Wait till I go. Thanks.
Mhm.
You're doing a great job, though.
Technical issues, people. Technical issues. Let me get the chat back. Try the screen share again. And look at the recent comment. Oh, this is great. Perfect timing. I'll make this a little bit larger for you guys. All right, so got a comment from Derek Rooster that said, did I say something wrong? I'm feeling a bit of rejection here and I really want to participate. Yours is one of the only channels I watch anymore. Thank you both for your endless catalogs of truth and relentless hard work. Please let me know how I can get more involved with hashtag Team Yahawashai. And so I said to Derek Rooster, we ask people that agree that what we are saying is true to share what they consider to be truth with others. If you can find someone that thinks we are wrong, that is willing to debate us, please let us know. The larger the audience, the better. And he responded, I'm unaware of anybody fit for the task of debating you. You have opened my eyes to so much, but I will certainly keep sending those I come across in search of truth to your channel. I believe you are correct in your assertions about the AE map's strategic fraudulence, and I'm grateful Yahushua brought me to your channel. I was hoping you might give your input on Isaiah 40:22. Thank you and much love. Hashtag Team Yahushua. I can give that comment a her right there. And so then I responded back to that. I said, everyone that is a truther by now knows that King James was a Freemason. The Freemasons are major players in the Great Deception. Within Flat Earth, we have so many well-known Freemasons, a few self-proclaimed Jesuits, and some Rosicrucians, probably some other secret societies as well. They are playing the globe versus the AE map model in a false dichotomy because neither are true. Freemason King James did his part by mistranslating the important scriptures regarding the shape of Earth, and the critical mistranslations are circle and firmament. There are a few others, but these are the main ones. If you go to the root word by means of the interlinear, you will see that the circle in Isaiah 40:22 means vast expanse or horizon. The NET, or New English Translation Bible, translates it correctly with, "He is the one who sits on the earth's horizon. Its inhabitants are like grasshoppers before him. He is the one who stretches out the sky like a thin curtain and spreads it out like a pitched tent." So that's a good translation there. Every person that I have come across that has a problem with Isaiah 40:22 has been a Freemason so far, and it is clearly a part of the Freemasons' plan for trying to destroy the credibility of the Bible. I know you never suggested that you are or were a Freemason, but make sure you let them know that unless they have turned away from their father Satan, Masons tell lies, that they will burn in hell for eternity. My hope is that as few as possible do. And that, that's always our hope here. That's the reason why we do what we do. Are you back up and running, brother?
Yeah, I have rejoined you. You're doing a great job. Can you hear me?
I can. Sound good.
So
I'm
I
curious,
wonder, all that.
when you screen share.
Yeah, does it sound better now?
Let's see. Stuffy's back. Stuffy's back.
Yeah, okay, well, I'm not going to change. I was trying to switch stuff, but it's okay, brother. But you've been doing a great job. I wanted to point out how great the sign looked. I think what is going on in the chat. Yeah, continue on, brother. You're doing a great job, man. I'm loving the episode. Not episode, just hangout. We don't do shows and episodes and numbers. Yeah.
No
we're just here to speak
truth. There's no seasons for the truth.
They should have. Yeah, the season. Oh, it froze up again. The seasons are all seasons. What's Flat Earth Math saying? Flat Earth Math shared something with us. I sent you the forward of the email, Jason. Seeing how I can't screen share anymore. He sent us a picture of a Mercator that I'd like you, or an oblique Mercator that I'd like you to take a look at. I have had this. It's on my old hard drive back in Ontario. I still have, but I wonder if this one would wrap better because it has maybe we could use the top section of this map to finish the lines is what I was going to point out. And I was really appreciative that Charles sent this to us. Yeah, and like the whole thing with Nathan, and I don't know if you were finished talking all that. I didn't know. I missed everything.
I've just been waiting for you to get your computer fixed.
Okay. I think, do we still have it on split screen? Do you still have it on gallery view or is it on speaker view?
I think it's on split screen.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, there should be a forwarded message in there for you. They sound good. Everyone sounds good.
Where did you send it?
2awakesouls@gmail.com.
Okay.
Hey, shout out to CC. I know it stands for 33, but we're willing to get by that because the Freemasons can't own everything. They don't own numbers. Our Heavenly Father owns everything. Shout out to Flat Earth Math again. Excellent. Huge shout out to Joseph for standing up for us the other day. And that was really, really sweet to see, right?
Yeah, I didn't get an email at Awake Souls.
You should have. I forwarded it to you. I'll send it again.
We're getting trolled.
No. Can never get trolled. Can't troll the trolls, man. Come on. I thought Jed was going to call in or something. No?
Well, he's in a different country. It's probably expensive. It'd be great, though. Somebody should buy Jed a phone card.
Yeah, they're only like $5, right?
I don't know.
Hey, you can get them for, I don't know, I guess 3 pounds, 2 pounds. It says I sent it to you.
It's not coming through.
It says it is. Awake. Excuse me.
There it is. Got it.
You got it? Okay, good. You know, I guess I just wanted to reemphasize tonight, continuing to say that the battle for truth, we're going to come up against all kinds of things, and really, we just want everyone to know that we're not dicks. Like, we come across that way sometimes pretty harshly because the truth means everything to us. It's the most important thing that we have in our lives, and honestly, the only reason why I ever do it is out of love. I got no hatred towards Tim Osman or even IPS or Bob. I really just wish that everyone could just share the truth sooner than later. I think that light might be a bit bright, Jason. Unless you're trying to pull a Yahawashai moment.
Does this change it?
Oh, no, you're pretty bright. Wow.
That's just the computer screen. What if I bring the brightness down like this?
That's just the computer screen that's doing that. Holy.
It's the computer screen.
Hey, Joseph, you're from Windsor? Yeah, I played some hockey against some Windsor teams. I was from Newmarket, Aurora mostly, but I was born in Newmarket. But it's pretty bright. Yeah, you're okay, Jay. You just look super tanned. I don't like the split screen, though, all the time, but that's okay. I can deal with it.
Just switch it.
You're the one who's in control.
Oh, I thought.
I tried to switch it. I tried. But yeah, Flat Earth Math, man. Thanks for shooting us this map. We're going to pull it open here and give a quick shout out to about it. And, I'm interested to see in the chat, Charles, because Charles is going to be joining us tomorrow at 9 p.m. Central, 10 o'clock Eastern. Mm-hmm. I'm interested to see if there's any way that he can debate that isn't the way that we can wrap a two-dimensional depiction of the globe. They match each other. Specifically in my research has shown to me that you can either argue the globe, you can use that as the same. You can draw out the paths to the sun and the moon and the stars and the way that they rise. And that's really what I want to get into tomorrow is talking to someone that's super intelligent like you, Charles, that, can help us. Oh, that's definitely not the map.
I was figuring it out before here it is.
That's definitely not the map either. Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh, okay, well, I guess Charles just had put it to the correct position when he sent me the email. I don't know how he did that. That was clever.
So watch this. It'll go through a transition here. They're pulling it into the stereographic.
There.
They just have this flipped upside down if we rotate it 180 degrees and split it out sideways. But here they have Antarctica together as one. I think the first cycle through, they had it split the other way. So this should cycle with Antarctica split after this.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
it's interesting how
I can see our map in it for sure.
It's interesting how Antarctica also looks like Greenland in a weird way, the way that it moves. This is a stereographic projection, right? It's interesting. I didn't know this was it was a transition map. Super cool though. Thank you, Charles.
Yeah, so watch. It might take a little while, but see if I can make this bigger for people. It's a trippy light show, right?
I wouldn't say there's no light in it. It's black and white, but
Yeah. That stereographic stuff, though, gets your eyes bugged out. So right now we're coming into 180-degree flip inverted, but hopefully it goes through the progression the other way. Here's your regular Mercator. It's not too bad, except for the infinitely stretched out north and south. There it is right there. Bingo!
Yeah. You can click and pause, Jay. I thought
Can
so.
you?
It's animated. I knew that, but you can click and pause and then drag it around. Tell you, oh, stop.
It won't.
Click it.
I have to hold it.
Click,
If I let
click
go,
and drag. But that right there, and okay, if you pull it down, you can actually create the top area there. You can finish it off.
there it
Is
is.
Charles? It's still missing the tops of the loops.
Yeah, so is ours. So is ours. This might be the square. So there is some doubt as to whether or not the map model that we're promoting is a perfect square or rectangle. But I don't know. With seeing this right here, I'm going to lean towards a square. I think that's a square we're seeing on the screen. Maybe it's a little.
But then again, if we go with the biblical layouts and dimensions of the encampment that Moses had put together, it was more of a rectangle. Definitely.
Oh, okay. Well,
But hey, we're like I said, we're hold fast to the truth. We don't have all the answers yet. Wake Souls, click, pause, and drag the north pole to the top center. That's what he had said.
top center.
Charlie showed up, thought he was banned. I said, yeah, we don't really like to ban people, but if someone starts saying a bunch of crap, we're not going to want it in our replay of our show in the chat. We want people to see good discourse and good conversation.
Yeah, so I don't know what.
I got a mesh system that fits that though in Blender. Interestingly.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not.
Yeah, we are not deadlocked on the perfect orientation or perfect sizes of the map and model. We have asked from the beginning for people's help on that. But we've been met with such great resistance trying to show people that the stereographic map is what projects to a sphere and would give you the impression that you're on a globe. So I wish people would just work with us, not against us.
Well, I'm sure Charles will put on a good. He's a good. He believes. We'll let Charles speak for himself tomorrow. I'll stop doing that. Knowledge Scavenger. Hey, thanks for showing up. Leaving the sun's motion. I guess he's trying to share a link. I'll give you a wrench. You can share the link, and then I'll take it away. But go ahead, share the link.
This is really handy. I like being able to move this around. This is huge. We can, with this tool right here, these little adjustments right here, if we were to get this as large as we can, take a screenshot of that, then take that, project it in Blender, see how it wraps up. And we can get all these different orientations here.
I can wrap a sphere in like 5 minutes. Not even 2 minutes, man.
Wow.
I've got that down.
What a tool. Thank you, Charles. I'm not calling you a tool. I'm thanking you for the tool you shared.
But we're going to have a discussion about pi and irrational numbers tomorrow. It's going to be exciting. Okay, there's the link. Thank you, Knowledge Scavenger. We'll check that out. I think he sent the correct link.
Were you sending it?
Oh no, I think it's our link that he put in our chat.
I didn't get it.
Oh, he's gone. What happened? Open link in a new tab. Yeah, this isn't. This is giving us a link back to our Hangout, I think.
I don't know.
The sun's four motions he's asking about, but we definitely are working on that as well. The rise and sets, we're actually wanting to use compasses and sextants, and you know, it was funny on the Nathan Oakley show. They actually told us that Arwen said you can't measure the sunrise and sunset due to the fact that that's the apparent sun. So what's your answer to that, Jason?
Oh, he has to have proof that there's something else other than what we see. When we look at the sky, we see a sun. So if he's going to say that there's an apparent sun, he has to show us evidence for an apparent sun. We're going to talk about the things that we see in reality, and he wants to talk about, he wants to take it to a place that can't be measured, and we know it can be measured. We know that we can navigate by it. I mean, today, I just tested myself real quick. I was out, I was in a parking lot, I looked at the sun, I saw its position, and I tried to, as quick as I could, go that direction south. And then I pulled out my phone, and I was so close. It's ridiculous. And anybody should be able to do that. So there's all these COINTEL agents that their whole thing, you can always tell when somebody says, oh, we're never going to know everything. You don't know everything. We can't know everything. It's impossible to know everything. When you hear people talking like that, it's a form of black magic, and they are mentally controlling you. It is a form of witchcraft, and once you become sensitive to it, once you pick up on that, when you hear it, stop the person, rebuke him, say, no, you're wrong, that's not true. I'm a truth researcher, and I know that truth can be found, and you're intentionally hiding and obfuscating stuff. So it's alarm bells goes off the second I hear somebody say, oh, you'll never know that, you can't know that.
Well, the other thing they're doing is dragging you down to their level of consciousness, where they're not able to manifest into reality like things that they conceptualize, whereas we are much different. I'm putting some links in the chat. This is for any debunkers, debaters, and people that don't agree with us. And I have one more to add to it that I'll be probably by the next show I'll have ready. But there's one. You know what I mean by them dropping us down from their level?
No, the people that I see doing it absolutely intentionally, as a form of witchcraft, mind control, trying to literally shut people down. I'm sure you've seen these types of practices used in chats and stuff like this. Subliminal thoughts can be implanted by agents. You'll see shills and trolls come in and say, this is boring, this is making me fall asleep, oh, I can't, and then what happens? Somebody sees that, and the thought's implanted in their mind, and boom, they're now under some form of mind control. It depends on how susceptible you are to it. Some people's minds are strong and fortified, and other people's, they see that, and you could tell somebody you're hungry, and right away they want to go eat something or anything, you name it. These people are intentionally, subliminally implanting, directly implanting with people knowing it. And it's a lot of work, but if you just pay attention to every word that a person says for a long enough time and get context, you can tell whether or not they're doing it intentionally or if it's just a learned behavior that they've learned works for them, because it does work. Are you there? Do you want me to?
Yeah, so I've put in a bunch of links in the chat for anybody that wants to search what we've what we've compiled and what we're working with. And I'm just adding the final link, which is a 2-hour hangout where we go into the micro view. So what we've usually been teaching, what I've been promoting mostly is the macro view. And what Jason's done here and modeled out, this is the last link that I'm putting in now. This is the micro view. So this is your local perception of the stars in the sky. So everyone now and everyone in the future, all those links that you just seen right there, boom, 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 boom. I try to lay it out for you as easy as possible, in hopes that you can discover what we have.
Let's see. You want to go into Nathan and the debate he had on today? You feel like talking about it?
Sure, go into it.
So hopefully people know and understand that I got into a debate on Nathan's channel, and he said a bunch of mean and nasty things, but literally, the words just ricochet off of me without any penetration whatsoever, because I grew up Jehovah's Witness. And so I was treated that way my entire life. And so it really has no effect at all on me. And they want to, the types of conclusions that they want to take people to are that because I don't have many friends, that it's just Ronnie and I, and we don't have support from anybody else because I don't have any friends, that I'm a loser and I should be ashamed of myself, and somehow this should make me feel bad. But what they don't understand is when I was coming back to spirituality, coming out of the atheism that I had gone into when I've been led off by scientism, I really, really, really was seeking truth. And the spiritual journey, in order to, my goal was to become enlightened. I was dead set that I wanted to become enlightened, and I would do anything to become enlightened. And doing so requires intense meditation, intense study, and just all forms of intense spiritual practice. And none of the friends that I had in this world were interested in any of those things. And so as I began doing them more and more, I had less and less in common with the people that I had been associating with. And as I got deeper and deeper into spirituality and looking for the truth, what I valued in a friendship changed. The people that I had been friends with before no longer gave me any material sustenance as far as the conversations that we had had. They were just empty. They were valueless. To just talk about sports, to talk about work, to talk about money, to talk about travel, to talk about hobbies. I knew that those things were all transient, temporary, and not of value. So I gave up all the friends that I had in the world, and I want new friends. I absolutely want new friends, but now I want new friends that have a love or passion for truth, that are interested in the things that I'm interested in, so that we might study together, research together, and hopefully at some time, and be in physical communities together where we work together and play together, and music, creative things, build things. So it's not that I'm antisocial, but I do have high standards. I want people to have a passion for truth, and passion for truth and hard work. I actually do like to work hard, and I guess I'd like to be around other people that like to work hard too. It's fulfilling. It's one of the things that fulfills me is hard work and building things, and I'm always looking for something to do or build. It's the times that I'm not building that I become restless and my mind gets
or researching, creating videos, fighting for the truth, reading scriptures, building houses, process. All these things, right? It's a group of things that that we want to be around, people that want that too, right? Everybody has their strong points, and we just want to have people around us that are willing to do the work, are willing to put the time in, whether it's reading, researching, building a wooden box, whatever it is. Just that's what we care about, is taking our time and finding the truth.
Yeah. So in the chat, like Joseph and Knowledge are talking about Arwen. I have no personal beef with Arwen. If you look at my channel and you go way back, you'll see that Arwen and I did a hangout together, and he said he believed he was in a simulation as well. He approached me, wanted to do a hangout. I said sure, and I got to sort of give my spiel. It hasn't changed at all. He still has it posted on his channel. You could go back and watch it there. I've got a portion of it posted on mine, but what I noticed in it is the people that Arwen associates with, and so he kept on coming from like this Gnostics, spiritual but not Christian approach. And so I've got a Skype conversation with him. We were Skyping with each other and messaging, and he sent me this message. I can bring it up again if people want to see it again. I'm not trying to just overly bash him, but what he did is he admitted to taking part in a satanic ritual that involved Mandela effect changes in the Bible, and his testimony is that he did some sort of spell ritual, and he was asked to make a change in the Bible, and he says that he's the one that placed the word Baal in the Bible. Now, this is his word, and who knows? Maybe he's lying about that as well. But what I do know is he is a AE map and model supporter to the core. He says he's not, but one of the things that I'm not going to let people get away with is saying that you don't support the AE map and model, yet you support channels that support the AE map and model.
Well, yeah, and the ice wall and the dome. These are you don't support the AE map model, but there's still an ice wall and there's still a dome.
Yeah, if you're supporting a channel that here's the criteria. Ask a flat earther, hey, how does the sun rise and sun set? And see what response you get from them. Because if they try to tell you, well, the sun and moon are doing circles around the North Pole and it's the UN map, that's an AE map and model person, right? It's not what it does.
No circles. It goes like this. No, here. It goes like that. It doesn't go like this. And the other thing too, an easy debunk. I'll pull up a map while we talk. Actually, Jay, could you pull up an AE map? then you can screen share because Yahushua
Okay.
doesn't want us to do that no more on my end. I'll have to upgrade. Maybe I'll downgrade to upgrade. Maybe I'll
Yeah.
go back to a Commodore or something.
Oh man. Oh, I just touched
But
my chin. Just touched my chin, and people are gonna be like, "Oh, you touched his chin." Sorry, people. I'm just looking for.
just
files.
don't make it your thumbnail, bro. Don't make any satanic. That's the other thing too. If you're a truth seeker, what happens is you're going to find people that you go through these stages. So I'll call it the gematria stage. You learn that Jesuits and a group of people on the earth use numbers to code things, and then after you go into that, you learn there's symbols and there's hand signs, and you become indoctrinated. Well, actually, all the symbols and signs you start seeing everywhere, and they poison you. So what we have to do is rise above that level and not trigger the other truth seekers that are going through this process by constantly flashing them. There's so many hand signs that they do. The 666, there's the diamond, there's the thinking man, there's the cutting the throat. And you notice I'm not doing any of these hand signs. I'm explaining to you. There's numbers like you shouldn't end your show at 3:33, 33 or 666 or obviously you can't 666, but I'll bet you if I did the math to figure out how many seconds 666 would be, I bet you people do try to end their hangouts on that time. Like we know all the people in the chat while Jason's bringing this up, the Emirates airline is saying they're going to take windows out now. I'm assuming it was because of the crash that the woman got her head sucked out. Really what it is, people are looking out the flat earth from airplanes and they're saying, oh, shut it down. They say the earth's flat from the plane, take the windows out, right? That's what they're doing. They're shut it down. It's hilarious. Not that map. That's a beautiful map.
What did you ask for? I thought you asked for what did you want?
Actually, any map, but the AE map model.
Oh, the AE map model?
But this problem might arise on any map. It's basically you can see the stars where you shouldn't be able to. So much of the research leads us back to being in a simulation at the end of the day. That's the problem. Just like Knowledge Scavenger, there are problems with every map and model. Our map and model, we believe, is the most correct on a two-dimensional flat plane. As for land masses and the way that the stars, sun, and moon travel above. But at the end of the day, no, our map might work.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, just seeing the stars, if you're on the AE map and you're on, if you're in the Netherlands and you're looking west at the stars, you have to see through the other side of the AE map sun to get to the dome where the stars are.
But here's the important thing. This is a macro view. So let's go and see what the micro view. Just so I think most people have seen this enough now to understand where the tropics are, where the equator is, where the prime meridian is, where the international dateline is on this map, and hopefully people have studied it to some degree. But what we've been saying all along is any place we think of. So let me bring out the annotation here quick. What? I didn't hear what you said. I can't hear you.
Ignore me.
All right, so this circle right here, I'm just making it this size so that y'all can see it. This is roughly the Austin, Texas area. And this is a super inflated circle. But if you wouldn't be able to see it if we went down to the circle of sight that we have here in Austin right now. So it's just the scaling issues of the map. So this is the macro view of the whole world, the map, the coordinate system. But what happens on the local level is if you drill down into this, now what I'm going to do is take you to this website. We've shown it before, and it's fantastic. I get out of this. Won't let me get out. All right. This, I will drop the link to this in the chat. And so this site right here shows us exactly what's happening in our circles of sight. So we're going right here. So everything about this site is absolutely fantastic. The only complaint that I have is this Mercator map that they're using for us to pull this push pin thing around. Okay, if this had been built with our map, this might just be the end all be all answer to everything about the maps and models in our world. So I'm just going to drag this pin over to the Austin area and check what our date and time is here. We're at March 21st. Today is June 8th. We're close. And so I actually went out and filmed this morning. We can pull up footage too if we want tonight, depending on how long we want to run. But this model right here, I can now move this around in 3D space. See, I can go under the plane, I can go over the plane, but notice everyone, this model is built on a 2-dimensional flat plane. It's a 3D plane in here, but it's a flat plane. So all the coordinates, everything in here is working off of this flat plane. There's no curvature built into this whatsoever, but this is actually what we see in reality. So to get your orientation, right now I have north to the left-hand side over here. Maybe I can get the annotate up again. Where's the spotlight? Hopefully you can see this. So north is over here. We're looking east. Now as I grab the time slider here, oh, the annotate won't let me do that. Doesn't work as well as I want it to.
You got to practice.
Yeah. So the sunrise is coming up at 66.93. So 63, 62. So as soon as the sun pops up, it's right in the 65-degree range. I went to timeanddate.com this morning to see what the sunrise angle is going to be, and this is right on. And this is the path of the sun in my footage. I'm following it with the P900, and then right in this area here, it begins going through layers of clouds. You can see it with clouds behind it. A circle of sight is less than 3 miles in my footage. It's near because of the topography and the trees and stuff. But then throughout the course of the day, if I'm sitting here and my orientation is I'm looking south towards the equator, got North Pole on my back. This, I'm sort of get down on ground view. I'll get in a little closer here. This is the path and the arc of the sun throughout the course of the day. And you can see in this model right here, these, sort of misshapen eights. It's called the analemma. And so if you were to take a snapshot of the sun once every month, it's going to follow this course. And then as the day progresses here, now if I turn face the west here, this is going to be the sun's path as it descends for me. It's going to come down here, and it's going to pass through clouds if there are clouds out at your horizon at this distance right here. So right here is the absolute kill shot for the AE map and model. And that is when there are clouds out here at the horizon and the sun is below the clouds, it is underlighting the clouds. They're underlit, these clouds in our circle of sight. And then we'll watch the sun come down, and then it just disappears down here at our circle of sight, which is that 3 to whatever miles you can see based on your elevation. And then the sky continues to change gradients, and we've got our moon, we got our stars, but when we do the moon and the stars, they are all within this circle of sight right here. This is where the path happens everywhere. And then we can come over and move our push pin down, and we can see the southern hemisphere, the equator. This is one that I'd like to experience sometime, right? To be on the equator and see the travel of the sun like this. You see how it comes up and down right within a person's circle of sight. Up and down. Sunrises, sunsets, the sun's below the clouds, down near the horizon. Anything you want to add, Ronnie?
No, I was just actually going over the yeah, this is absolute empirical proof that we are living in a simulation, because this happens for everybody on Earth, wherever their latitude is. They can figure out where they are by the position of the sun. The sun's position is absolutely key. There's no apparent anything about it. Did you want to show your footage?
Go ahead. I got to get it ready.
Okay. I'm sorry, Knowledge Scavenger. He's got a video where he shows like a hallway with the lines, and he's trying to, I'm going to look into that after. I'm not going to dismiss it right away. I will look at it, brother, or sister. I think you're a brother. I think I've heard you talking on your videos. But I'll share a video while you go through that real quick. So if you want to mute.
Hi people, today I'm going to show you the wrong model again. I made this 3D model with a dome and stars circling in a dome. Let's have a look at it. What is wrong with this? Yeah, this is the model we see with the circling stars in the dome, but something is wrong with that. Yeah, after the sun sets, for me, then I can film those stars in the west and northwest all night long. So, how is that possible? If I have to see through daylight and then see stars circling in a dome, how is that possible? No way this can happen. It not works like this. Yeah, I don't need much time to debunk. Yeah, my model show it. Yeah, I divided the map in 4 pieces. Each piece is 6 hours. Yeah, you can do the calculations yourself. Yeah, I can see the stars all night long here.
So I just want to make people really, really clear this, because I know there's a lot of Christians out there that believe there's a firmament dome, and that they live on this circle map with an ice wall around them. And I want to really make this really clear, like a child could understand. If I was standing with this woman here in this position, looking west at nighttime from this position, I would not be able to see the dome if the sun was 3,000 miles up circling. I would see daylight. Okay, there's no dome between the observer and the dome and the stars. It's the sun and the moon are in between. Do you understand this, Jason?
Yeah, I do.
It's absolutely, without a doubt, debunks the AE map model with a dome over it. Empirically, synthetically, observably, in all senses and form. It's such an easy thing that QNF put together a while ago. And again, you cannot see through to the dome on the outside of the ice wall if there's a sun circling above you. It's impossible.
There's so many flaws with the AE map model. They're really jumping out now like crazy.
Yeah, well, and that as well, that we teach people that if the sun was circling above our heads, the observers on the ground from different positions, if the moon was circling above our heads, which they purport, I believe that's the right word, we would see different phases of the moon each night from different areas. So if the moon was half lit, someone around on South America is going to see a different face of the moon than someone in North America is going to see. And this is just simply easily proven that to be a disproof of the map. The map is an absolute debunkable. It's set up to fail, to make the flat earth look stupid, to discredit the Holy Bible.
Here, I got the footage up. I'll do some skipping through, and then we can just sort of, talk over it. Let's just pick as much out of this footage as we can. I don't need any audio with it, but see if I can sort of keep the chat up here if you guys want to chat along with us. But this was this morning. I was up before sunrise, and whenever I am, I just take a peek out the window to see what the clouds look like out at the horizon. I'm always looking for better and better clouds behind the sun footage. And, today looked like it had some potential to it. I got to the spot and knew it wasn't going to be good, but, it's always worth it to do the setup and go through the exercise. I always pray for evidence to be shown and me given the opportunity to understand. And I always ask that it glorify the Creator and His creation, and that we can always share higher and higher levels of truth. So I do these types of prayers, and then I hit record. And I just want to point out to people that this is absolutely not special footage whatsoever. This is not great clouds behind the sun footage. This is just an ordinary sunrise with some clouds off at the horizon. And you can see from this footage, I'm starting to get the feedback again.
Wow. Must be you. It's your system, bro.
Wow. The clouds here, you can clearly see the dark shadowing around the edges, and then you can see this hot pink. I don't know what pink, oranges, blushes, tangerines, but you can tell where the sun's going to rise in this footage. And then, all right, so the moon was up. I'll show you the moon's position. The moon was up here. It was lit in this position, facing down, sort of pretty much in the direction of where the sun was rising. It wasn't too far off. I've seen it off more. Zoom in on it a little bit. it's sort of washed out already with the morning light. And honestly, I was a little rusty with the focus and just all of my footage because I hadn't done it in a while. But I was also juggling my phone because I was doing the second recording, and I like to do a recording of me recording with my phone just for evidence for people. So I do some zoom ins, zoom outs. You see the sky's starting to heat up right there. And here comes the sun. So I'm just going to let this section here play out. I'll make this full size. And I want people to tell me if they see a small focal point of light, like the type that you would expect to see down at the end of a hallway, a pinpoint of light where all of our perspective converges. And then keep in mind that it would be 3,000 miles high, and it would be down, south of the tropic of.
I'll show a diagram in a second.
Yeah, south of the tropic of Cancer, and then it's coming up at 65 degrees. So I plan on making a video where I do the AE mappa model in SketchUp and show from Austin what 65 degrees looks like, and show you where that intersects with the Tropic of Cancer. And just off the top of my head, I'm going to guess that would be maybe in Europe someplace. So, maybe someplace, in not Europe, but North Africa, it'd be probably out towards the Middle East. 65
So could
degrees.
we pause?
Yeah.
Could we pause there? Okay, so everybody sees how that sun's rising, right? I won't share the sound, so maybe it won't echo. Does it echo still without the sound?
No.
Okay, we got to fix. So everybody, I just want you to look at here what Jason was showing. This is the moon, but this is the same graphic. What do we see here? Does the moon do this as it rises? Watch. Does it rise up like this? At the end of the diagram? Here, he's got it right here. See, it would have to be setting right off the edge of the map, just like that. Did everybody see that at the far right? There was another graphic that shows it. So again, this is the graphic with the moons. How people would see 3 different phases of the moons. And then I think he goes into the rise. So the problem is that, yeah, the sun and the moon come down lower, right? There. Did you see that? Is that the way that we saw? Is this the way that we see the sun and the moon rise? It just jumped. Like, is this the way we see it? Or is Jason's way the way that we see it? So Jason, you can take the screen share back. And let's watch a real sunrise, right?
But it's so easy for everybody to do. People, you don't need to have a P900. You don't need to have a camera. You don't need to do anything other than watch a sunrise and sunset. And most people, have acted like that's enjoyable. So I don't understand why there's such a big fight over this. Why it's so difficult for people to just watch a sunrise. This is repeatable and observable by all of you. Every day that you got clouds up, you're always going to see the sunrise as long as it's not completely blocked out by clouds. And it comes up full width, full size, and it rises. And see here, I'll speed this up a little bit. So this is 5x speed. And now watch what happens. You can see some layers of, thin haze against the sun, but you still see bright white spots. Bright white is where there's no clouds. Now it's entering into the clouds. They're just above me in my circle of sight here. like I said, this is not exceptional footage. It's not, the focus isn't great. There's nothing super special about these clouds behind the sun. We've seen ridiculously.
It clearly debunks the AE map that a small sun is circling up into our sight. This is, it rose from the ground and it's now interacting with that cloud layer.
Yeah, this is, hey, let's get the context again, everyone. Here's the field that I'm filming, all right? Let's just pause it right there. This is the field that I'm filming. That's the direction I'm filming towards the sun. Those are the clouds in my circle of sight. And there are definitely clouds that go off all the way to the horizon. And when the sun comes up and it shows its bright and shiny face, look at that. There are no clouds between me and the sun. It just rose behind those trees. And then it comes up and it goes into this layer. And see this, you can do 15 minutes at a time. So then this one ends. And let me do the next one. And this is where that one picks up. So you can see that there's, now it's poking through. You see where all of a sudden it gets hot and white right here? What I can do is I can pull this into the video editor and apply filters on this, like the negative filter, the X-ray filter. And my favorite one is the emboss filter. And you can see that there are no clouds now obscuring this part of the sun. There are clouds here, absolutely, but then there's the whole surrounding of the clouds all the way around. That's going to continue to come up. And I'll speed this up. You got that thicker dark band. This is all absolutely local glow. If you want to think the sun is 3,000 miles away, and well, no, 3,000 miles high, it's probably going to be more than that away for its sunrise angle for me. Might be 10,000 miles, so the hypotenuse would be even more. And now it's above this layer of clouds. Now this is pretty good focus footage here. Look at the local interaction with the clouds there. It's been ascending from the ground up through these layers. And I know that these clouds are less than 3 miles away from me. We're gonna go through that layer.
That was my next question, is how far away were those clouds? Good call, good answer.
We'll go back to the footage and show you. Look at it get up through this layer. It was visible as it came up out behind that layer of clouds, went up through these layers. Everybody can do this. Don't take my word for it. But let's go back to that first video, and I'll show you the context again. All right, so this right here, you know, we're talking quarter mile, half mile, mile, 2 miles. So if you're on flat ground, totally flat ground, the sky's going to meet the ground about 3 miles from you. And we've got these elevated trees. So this foreground here, all these trees are much closer than the 3 miles. If you project down from these clouds, you know, from these trees right here, you're coming up probably into this part of the clouds through the center of this portion. The farthest back trees, you know, probably come up into this area. And, you know, we saw the sun come up back behind these trees and go into these clouds. Let's see which clouds it goes into. It's probably going to be this area right around here it goes into. So it's probably, wow, that's close. I mean, it came up right behind those trees. At least it was far enough to be behind that electrical tower. Look at, as the auto exposure adjusts, you can see this electrical tower here. And you can see that the sun's behind that. So that's good. It's a little bit farther than that tower. That's not far though. That's pretty close. And this is what every single person sees. And you're never gonna run into the sun. You can't fly into it. It's always being projected to you the way a rainbow is. Just went in those clouds. So the question that I was just hammering Nathan about, and I'm going to continue to hammer Nathan about, is let's get back into this. The second clip had some pretty decent clouds behind the sun. This is the question that I demand anybody that supports the AE map and model answer, is how do you explain underlit clouds at sunrise and sunset with your model? How do you do that? Look at this. I like it when it goes through these layers like this.
Yeah, and then when you're done, pull up that website again, please.
Oh, here's another little tidbit. Just go back a few frames here. So as you see this, that bird that's going through the screen here?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, you know, the Mick Wests out there are going to say that, no, you don't see clouds behind the sun. That's just the brightness of the sun shining through the clouds, like it's going through film strips or something like that. Well, come on now. We saw that electrical tower, no problem. This is without any sort of filter on it. This is just no, I have a polarization filter on it and a UV filter, but not like a solar filter. And when you film at sunrise and sunset, the auto exposure on the camera does everything that's needed to keep the images turning out great like this. And you can clearly see that this bird that's flying in front of the sun is not being washed out from the bright. Well, it does get a little bit. Oh no, it's
Not really. You can still see it though, clearly. No washing going.
Watch this. It flies right across. You can see it across the whole face. So it's not the brightness of the sun washing things out. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It was a non sequitur. I was just going to say, and if birds are actually really close to the sun, you can actually see a type of vapor interaction that's happening between the sun and the birds and planes.
Yeah, when planes fly really close to the sun, you get these like, it looks like it's diving into the sun and you see this energy splatter. It's really crazy.
A vapor trail, right? Yeah, vapor trail. Keep going though, please.
Well, I mean, that's it. I was just, I can come out of the screen share and I just want to hear what people have to say about this.
We're not getting too much chatter.
No.
I just shared it on Stumbled Upon, so we're probably going to get some people stumbling by. No, I'm kidding. But consider that the clouds are not solid objects like birds. We know that some clouds you can see through, and some clouds you can't, and some clouds are behind the sun and behind the moon. This is clearly observable. We're going to continue to observe it, and we're going to teach the truth. That's what we're here for. Call in Knowledge Scavenger. Because we're, you know, if nobody wants to call in, we'll probably close the show down, the hangout. It's not a show. We just want, to hear you guys say, if someone can explain on the AE map and model how the sun rises and sets and does what we just showed you, you have to completely deny all evidence, all observable. You have to start making up, oh, the sun's actually up there and this is that, but we can't ever observe that. So really, it's the same thing as an error in math. It doesn't exist. The word zero, the letter zero, the number zero, it does not exist. There's just tricks. So, like I said, yeah, the phone lines are open for now. Yeah, great presentation, Jay. I'm glad you got that footage. It's perfect, simple. Every day you can, most days you're going to get.
So Knowledge Scavenger brings up the comment, but consider that clouds are not solid objects like birds. Oh, we're getting a call.
I just answered that. I said some clouds you can see through, some clouds you can't. Right? So
yeah, I wanted to.
You can answer it after.
Hello, you are live on the Limitless channel.
Yes, hello?
Hello, how are you?
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes, I was thinking about how the conversation you guys having about the sun and the moon. I think as long as we stick to the fact that what the Bible has to say about it, like we know the stars will fall from heaven to the sky. I mean to the earth.
Mm-hmm.
We know they're in the firmament of the heaven. We know the firmament that's in the heaven holds a water up top because it separated the water from above from the water below, and then the water below is separated in the dry lands of Pierre. And we know we stick to the facts with only what the Bible has to say about the sun, the moon, and stars, and we won't be still wrong. But we don't look into Copernicus or whatever, the science has said this, they have said that. We already know they lie. Only way we know anything truthful is simply through the experiment ourselves, like, have spinning hot air balloons in the air, which prove that with out of fish islands, there's no curvature. The horizon, rises at the observer eye level, and it don't drop like a ball, like it would on a ball. But the key thing I called to mention is, what the scripture have to say about it. We know there's a water above, and the water that's above is because it was divided from the water below, from where the ground is at and the seas at. And I noticed also when you track the sun and the moon, let's say you go to Google, you go track the sun and the moon, and it show you the sun either chasing the moon or whatever, and then it goes from east to west, and it pops up in the east and go back in the west. Like I don't know how that works, but I've been observing that a little bit and trying to see, because I'm starting to think they didn't circumnavigate the earth from east to west. Because that would mean they would react like the sun is reacting in the map. As far as like, if you keep going, you see the sun going west or something like that. It just appears pop up east. Am I correct or something like that? Have you guys ever looked at the map on Google? Like, let's say you want to track the sun and the
moon. We tend to track it in our local circles of sight, and we've seen what Google and the heliocentric model presents, and we see the discrepancies between the two. So we take it all with a grain of salt. We look at what they present, and then we go test it to see if it's true or not.
Yeah, because also now that I'm thinking about it, when I do go on my Google to check the sun and the moon and stars, where they at, where their location, where they're supposed to be, and I thought about what somebody was discussing, how it's the software is pre-programmed. So it's only when I go to the the web, it only programmed to show me where it supposedly should be. But it's not like it's accurate as if it's real time, right? When you do it on the phone, when you Google the place in the sun and the moon should be that day,
Well, see,
pre-programmed software,
yeah,
so it's not accurate.
No, what I do is I look at like timeanddate.com. I look at the date, and then I see what the sunrise angle is. So what that tells me is that at sunrise time, when I start seeing the sun, I'm supposed to look at a compass and look at that direction, and that's where the sun's supposed to come up. And I've never seen a large discrepancy in it whatsoever. It's always been pretty close to accurate.
Okay. The only reason I said that is because I'm looking at maybe they might have circled the continent and not necessarily because that with the EMAP the discussion was the sun circled the Earth along with the moon, but when you look at today's tracking, if you're tracking the moon and the star, the sun and the moon. And you go to the website, the sun and the moon is going, let's say, east to west. It's like it pop up, like it just pop up. And sometimes you see the sun shining, let's say, in North America, and also there's sunlight also in like Russia area, which is the east meeting the west, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, it totally debunks the.
Notice the sun. I'm saying like we don't know if it's circles because as far as we see on the when you're tracking the sun and the moon, it goes straight. It never turns. It just pops up on the other side, right?
Yeah, it rises in the east, sets in the west. We can go back to the 3D modeling of it. It's done over a flat plane, and you can test it. Let me bring up that quick.
Would you consider that a phenomenon because it pops up in one, it just disappear on one side and pop up like as if they were close to each other?
No, we'll continue to go over and over it with the map and model that we present, and how it works, how to use it, and hopefully other people can see where maybe we made a mistake and correct it and make it even better. But what I'm showing on the screen right now is that 3D modeling program again. And what I've done is drag the pin down into sort of southern Argentina. And I want to drag the slider on this to the winter time. Let's get this out near winter solstice, right around here. And now as I drag the slider here, you can see where the sunrise angle is.
You have to reposition the east-west view, please.
You want to be looking north or south?
East-west.
East-west?
Well, you can't observe the sun's rise south of east and setting. There you go. So no, turn it around the other way because people in the north won't understand what you're showing them.
Yeah, I'm just showing you right now on the Hangout. I'm screen sharing this model, and so here's east. Let me get everybody's bearings on this. And here's where the sun rises. And this is absolutely verifiable, where all you have to do is set a stick in the ground there and see which way the shadows are being cast and how long the shadows are being cast. Now, this modeling is super accurate. And here's the path. It's come up super far south of east. It comes up, it's north of people down there at sunrise, and it comes down and hooks out and away to the southwest. And
It's north at its meridian passing.
it is north at its meridian passing.
And then set west.
And the interesting thing about this is if you take the pin and drag this pin anywhere along that latitude, you'll see that you're getting the same elevation angles. The time of day is changing, but it's the same elevation angles. And then as I rise this up towards the equator, look how this path has now come to a direct, it's a straight overhead path. If I bring this back to an equinox, we'll do a fall equinox. So here's another glaring problem for the AE map and model is that on the equinoxes, the sun rises 90 degrees east, that's 270 degrees west, everywhere on Earth. And that's not even ever possible on the AE map model, but on the equinox, on the equator, you're gonna have that, let me get the orientation spun back around here so that now we are looking east. And here's our sunrise, it comes directly up. And that is the path right there this is probably like a 3-mile circle of sight. That's all they're showing us here if you see the modeling that they have. Maybe even less. There it is, you can use this software to be able to predict shadows of sticks stuck in the ground anywhere in the world, and it works. So we know this works, but we also know that this is built on a flat plane. This is not built with curvature in it. That's a huge win for flat Earth.
That's correct. I'm just going to steal the share.
Okay.
And one more time, people, this is what the flat Earth sunrise should look like. Let's sunrise on the flat Earth. See it coming in here up here? Okay, do I need to show this again? Does this look like what Jason photographed? Does that look right to you, Jay?
Well, that would only be right if you were like right there underneath the sun. You would have to be, to see that, you would have to be underneath the sun. So somewhere in the tropics. Not many of us live inside the tropics that are having this discussion.
See, the sun doesn't set at the horizon on the flat Earth map. It just keeps spinning around overhead as they propose. It's completely debunked. Not only of this video, but our videos and every other video. Just like I said, if 3 different viewers were watching the moon, they would see 3 different phases of the moon. If the way that the front face is always lit, this is absolutely not observable. I don't know if we still have the caller on the line, but I just wanted to make sure that people understood that observable, this map is absolutely the worst map we could ever go with. It's a joke. It's been implanted in the flat Earth to take us.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
the circles,
What?
because what I'm looking at, so there's some circles, you said, the Earth, or?
No, it doesn't do circles over an AE map and model. No, we've proven that. It does exactly what this website that I'm showing in the Hangout shows. This is testable and verifiable by each one of us wherever we live. We can just go to our location, go to a date, and test it. And this is what works. Notice the shadows. Notice the shadows being cast from the sun and how tight and close the sun has to be here in order for this all to be correct. Notice that you get the analemma from studying this footage. And oh, there's one other thing that I've seen in this map that I don't like about it, and that is if you pull it down into Antarctica and you get down here, they do have it modeled where if I adjust this to the
Which
right
is
time
not
of year,
right.
yeah.
It's not, but they need it for their globe lie.
So if you look at this, you can see that, all right, from December 31st all the way back to, this looks like around October 5th, we've got the sun never setting ever. And then we should pick up some more. All right, and then from January 1st until March 9th, that is a lot of days for the sun to never set, and we don't have any footage of that. None. It's all been CGI, and there's only like 6 or 7 clips. It's not that good. It's bad CGI. It's a serious problem for the globe and the AE map and model. It debunks both of them.
What's your view on the scriptures saying the sun, the moon, and the stars is in the firmament, right? In the firmament, we don't. A biblical definition of a firmament, which just means where the dwelling of the sun, the moon, and stars dwelling, where they dwell, and then above them is water, right?
What we've been pointing out recently is that we've noticed that it's the KJV. So everybody should know that King James was a Freemason by now, and the KJV has a few verses that are obviously mistranslated to serve a purpose. And one is Isaiah 40:22, where it says the circle of earth. That's a mistranslation. And then firmament, the word for firmament is rakia. And rakia means vast expanse or horizon. So I did cover that in the earlier part of the show. I've written a response to somebody who had a similar question. And what I'm trying to point out to people is that the Freemasons planned this false dichotomy along with the Jesuits, some 500 years ago. The King James Bible came out in 1611, and it already had those mistranslations embedded in it. So you're probably going to hear a lot of people really pushing KJV only, and that's because it serves their purpose with this false model. But what I just recommend to everybody is look up the original words, the root words that were mistranslated, and see what the original definitions were. And so I can't say for sure, but it says vast expanse or horizon. What I envision is that, like on this model that I've been showing here, everything above the flat plane would be considered the waters above, and everything below this flat plane, that would be sea level, would be the waters like the oceans and all that. So that's my understanding of that.
When it says let the firmament be, remember there was nothing, and then it says the Spirit of God hover over the face of the waters, and it expressed how that there be light, and then it says after it separated the light from the night and called the light day and the darkness night, and then it put the firmament, and he created a firmament in the midst of the waters to separate the waters from above, the water below, and then not only that, it emphasized how it separated the water that was below, and then you have the sea and the land. So above this water, and then below with the birds and any animal that flies, there's water below them, and above them there's water. But we talk about different because there's a firmament, whatever that means, because it's the firmament that divides the waters from above from the water below. And we know it's specifically there's water above because it talks about how below, the water that was below is separated if there was land. We did not have Noah's flood, where the windows of heaven was open and the waters poured down from heaven and into onto the earth, and you know, and also water came from under the earth.
That's right, through the deep.
To land, you know. So we know there's water. Of course, we know the sea holes is the seabed, you know, where the water, there's something holds the water that's under the sea. And maybe underneath that there's more water. But we know that the sun that I spoke about separated it was different from where the land and the sea is at. There's water above the earth.
Yeah, I trust the scriptures. I have a hard time exactly envisioning what that looks like. And, you know, I pray the time comes where we're given the ability to understand that. You know what, Ronnie?
Even in the Psalms, they talk about water above, right?
What's that?
Even in the Psalms, they talk about the waters above.
Yeah. Yeah, water's above. It's in scripture, and I do not deny scripture one bit. Like I said, the understanding it right now, that's going to be one of the tougher ones for us to understand. So just always try to.
I had mentioned, remember I had mentioned how the stars will fall down from heaven. Now we also know scripture says it's the word of God that holds this universe together. So we already know all the scientists that we talk about it's molecule it's cells this, whatever. But we know us, people of God, we know the only thing that holds this world together is the word of God. Everything that holds every bone in our body is the word of God. Everything that holds the strength from like our hair falling off of our body is of the word of God. Because the scripture said yes, the word of God that holds this universe together, this world together. But I'm kind of missed my point about the stars falling from heaven. So if the stars falling from heaven, and we know the scripture said there's water above the stars, that means, the picture is vivid to me how.
Well, I don't know if there's a scripture that says there's water above the stars.
Below the water above is the sun, the moon, and the stars, and then below that is the where we have let's say air balloons go up to there, and whatever many other things probably let's say even push the rocket up to that atmosphere, but. And beyond that would be where the dwelling of the moon and the stars is. And then below where the rockets and stuff you see, there's the clouds. And then below the clouds, that's where pretty much the birds fly.
Yeah, well, you make some interesting points. Sorry, I was just getting the screen share back up. One of the things that I'd like people to contemplate is that all the footage that we have, like high altitude balloon footage, high altitude plane footage, it appears that people say that they don't see the stars anymore in commercial flights, like when the planes are flying up at 40,000 feet. Right. So some of the lower flights, I've been on lower flights, just the little commuter transits, like between here in Houston, and they don't go that high. And so I've done a night flight on that, and I did see. I did see faint stars at that elevation, but people that travel at higher flights, the longer flights where they go up into the 40,000 range, everybody says they don't see the stars anymore. You can watch the high altitude balloon footage as it's ascending. You'll see the stars go away. So It appears that the elevation at which stars are rendered is cut off at a certain amount of feet. So that's another huge glaring simulation proof, in my opinion.
Simulation realization.
So, but we know how air balloons do move above the clouds, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a mini footage of the one above the clouds.
Oh yeah,
You see the clouds underneath.
oh yeah. Yeah, but the rendering of the stars seems to stop at that maybe around the 40,000 foot range, and then after that, no more stars as you go up higher. So you're like over the stars. You're now above them.
You remember also, how Jacob had a dream there was a ladder that reached the heavens, and there was angels ascending and descending from it? Do you remember that?
I remember the account. Yeah.
Now, that shows me, even though we know God is speaking to us in a spiritual way with that dream Jacob had, but it shows that there's, even Jesus ascending,
He's right there. Yeah, he can't.
Even with what's the gentleman, Stephen, when he looked he looked up, and the sky is open, and he saw, I think
There's no dome.
He saw Christ sitting on his throne, sitting at the right hand of the Father, or something. I don't quote me on that. But my point was how the sky open, or and he sees, he had a vision where he sees Christ or whatever. And we know, of course, spiritually, God is not saying, it's not the fact that there is an up, but that I know it also represents how he moves and how I don't want to go too far into that, but we know this. Jesus say he descended, but we know he physically got buried. We never seen him descend under the sea or be beyond under the sea where the seabed is. Like, we know there's an up and down from the ground we stand. We don't live under the water. We have dominion over what's in the oceans and the sea. We have dominion over everything around us. I don't think God ever gave us dominion over the stars and the sun and the moon. He just was there to for the seasons, for the times and stuff like that. Even though we misinform about the seasons and the time of the earth, not only physically but spiritually. And now that we're at the time where God is revealing a lot of truth, spiritually, it ricochets physically. Where now we know that the earth is not what they've been telling us, and it is all deceptions and just wrongdoing. But I don't think we should get comfortable. I think we should stick to the scriptures that tells us, and it's very good, of course, to go and make sure it's the original word, what it says. Did it say up? Did it say down? It's very important. I understand that, but I don't. It seems like things get complicated even when they shouldn't be complicated. If the scripture says there's water above, there's water above. The scripture says there's the sun, the moon, and the stars is in the firmament. We could check it. Jesus says in, and the word in is correct, and stuff like that. But if it says it's correct, it's in the firmament, it's in the firmament. We don't know how it's possible. How does that work? But we know whatever the scripture says is true. Let God be true in every man. And let God be true in every man alive.
We're with you. We're with you on that, brother. We are with you on that.
Yeah, so either our words is not worthy compared to God's word, because we could be wrong, but God's word cannot be wrong. So whatever the scripture says, if we stick to the scripture and we check the word, original. So we know, yes, like you said, Lazarus is, then they have taken control of the Word of God. It's like Satan has took the Word of God and twisted it when he deceived. When he deceived when the serpent deceived the woman. The Word of God was he asked her a question, and then and then defied the Word of God. He defied the Word of God when he said, "You will not surely die." He bluntly said God is a liar. Because God told us she will die. He said you will not die. So.
Yep.
It's just, I think we should stick to the Word of God. If it says this, because it says the stars will fall on the earth.
Oh yeah, that's gonna happen.
The scripture says that we better believe God will happen.
Oh yeah.
He said he will roll them up like a garment. He gives me an example of how he will destroy this world. But as far as the shape of the earth, we know. God said he separates the waters from the waters. He didn't say how far he stopped. We know there is scripture that talk about he puts the shores and the walls to hold to keep the ocean the sea limit.
Yeah.
But my key thing is, doesn't it say it's in the firmament? And now the problem I guess we inhabit recently, I've noticed, is that we want to know what is a firmament. What is a firmament? Is it a dome? I don't believe it's a dome because the scripture don't describe it to be a curvy thing that blocks the earth. It just said, like you said something about relating to horizon, right? Extension or horizon. What did you say it means?
The word is rakia, and I believe the definition that's given is a vast expanse or horizon.
Yeah, so and the horizon is just a flat thing that just keeps on going, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the horizon, that's what we're looking at when we're doing all this footage. That's where the sky meets the ground.
Which is the space that separates the earth from the earth from the heavens or from above, and it just keeps going. If you're in the north, it keeps going. The horizon remains the same. The space between the heavens and the ground is the same.
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere in the world, you step in any water, you look up, the distance of the height is the same, right? But in perspective, it looks like it's curving down, but it's just the horizon that's just flat and keep going. So if you're north, you look at the horizon, you think it's going to be any different? No, it seems like it's the same. Because when you look up in the north, south, east, west, in the middle, the distance from the ground in the sky remains the same. It never changes, right?
Well, our circle of sight's all vary based on our elevation height and the visibility of the atmosphere where we're at. Those are the key factors for our circle of sight, because we can have an extremely small circle of sight, like if we're down inside of a hole, then as we look around us at eye level, then our circle of sight might only be a couple of feet around us. But as we come out of that hole, the circle expands.
I just want you to clarify this for me. When you north, when you stop, let's say any person in the north, any person in the south, west, east, just express that for me, please. If they look in the sky, is the distance from where the ground extending on and up in the sky is the same? No, you don't think so, right? Or you do think so? I think wherever you're on the earth, standing on the ground and looking up is the same height.
What I see is sea level being like in the model that I'm showing. It's the flat plane that this is built on. If we imagine that to be sea level, that's like a set height in the world. And then we have the depths of the seas, the oceans, lakes, all that go down.
Yeah, but you're not answering what I'm trying to say. My point is, in any ocean, you still in any water, ocean, sea, whatever you want on Earth, and you look up in the sky, whether you're in the north, south, east, west, the middle, is the distance from the wind the ground you're standing on to the sky, is it the same? That's the main question.
Yeah.
No, you don't think so, or you do think so?
I have a hunch that would need to be tested, but I believe that what we have here is a coordinate system where every single point in space could be mapped off the sea level. And so let's say if we were on top of the mountain, our coordinates are circle of sight and maybe the elevation at which we stopped seeing stars as we were going up. Those things might be based off of our distance above sea level. Is all I have a hunch on.
So are you saying wherever you are, if you could answer that for me, it would help me so much.
Yeah, I know. We might have to move it on.
Like, let's say you in South Pole, whatever you want to call it, or North Pole, whatever you want to call it. You east, you west, however you call it, or you're in the middle, wherever that is. And then you look it up. You're standing on regular water, on sea level water, and you look up, and you're in the water. Is it the distance from the sky to where you're standing the same anywhere you stand on Earth? You understand my question? Really, I'm not saying it right.
Yeah. Well, yes. Yeah.
You don't think it's the same distance wherever let's say you're on sea level in the middle of the Earth, or in the north of the Earth, or the south of the Earth, or the east of the Earth, or the west of the Earth, you're standing on sea level, and then you look up in the sky. Is it the distance the same?
My answer that I gave before, if you get a chance, listen back to it. I don't want to have to go through it again.
Okay, it's okay.
But I appreciate your call, Ron.
Yes or no?
Yeah, I know, but what I don't like doing is giving a yes or no on something that I haven't researched, because if I'm wrong, somebody's going to really go.
You're right. I'm sorry. You're right.
All right, but Ronnie and I are going to wrap it up for tonight. Thank you so much for calling in.
Great. No, it was great talking to you guys. You guys keep it up, and put God first, put the scriptures first, and we can't lose.
Exactly. Thank you, brother.
You're gonna play us out with a video.
Take care, guys.
Peace, brother. I'm gonna play us out with a video. Jay, do you have any last words?
I can't hear you, Ronnie.
You're gonna play us out with a video.
What's that?
You're going to play us out with a video. If you have any last words, I have one. Please tune in tomorrow at 9 p.m. Central. We're going to have Flat Earth Charles. We're going to have him on. We're going to go over our map and model. We're going to talk to him about a bunch of stuff. Last words for you, Jay?
Thank you to everybody that showed up. I'd love to hear from y'all. Callers, it's a great way to talk to you. Thank you. Peace to you all, and keep looking for the truth.
God bless. Only
Beyond Flat Earth.
You are now tuned into the one and only. You are now tuned into the one and only
All Out Truth Channel. The True Yahweh Network. Please turn your volume to max and be prepared for
Awake Souls and Event Skeptic.
Now, back again with yet another outstanding debunk video. Broadcasting worldwide. We go beyond the lies and deception. Soar to the highest of heights, down to the darkest of deceptions. Nothing can stop.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Shy. Howard Shy.
Your best community for top news and information regarding simulation reality, Christianity, and flat Earth proof. You have now reached the first ever simulation nation realization. We are beyond flat Earth.
You have to end it, Jay. You're the host.